Beatriz, thank you so much for doing this. I know your time is so valuable. You're the youngest IFBB Pro ever. You're 17 years old. Tell me about getting your pro card in the mail. What was that like?
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's so good to be answering your questions and to collaborate with you. So thank you, first of all. About your question, it was so good to receive my pro card in my mail. And it was such a surprise, a good surprise, because I wasn't expecting that so early. So it was awesome.
Your pro debut was at the Kai Green Classic. You won the entire show, but before the show, everything went wrong. What happened?
Yeah, actually, I think that the universe wasn't wanting me to step on stage on Sunday because in Portugal, first I lost my first flight because I forgot my ID card at home, which is like an hour and a half away from the airport. So I was in trouble and I lost completely the first flight, and I had to buy another one, the following one, which was delayed too. So I arrived in Italy like 3 hours or 4 before the pro meeting, and I had to drive till to the pro meeting place for almost 3.5 hours. But fortunately, I came on time, like 10 minutes before the pro meeting started. So I think that after that, everything would be fine. But some trouble came again. And before I stepped on stage, like an hour before, my bikini bottoms broke the connectors. And I tried to fix it with my hairdresser, but I was feeling insecure with them. And I had to ask a friend to borrow her bikini. So, okay. That was not good, but after all, it was good.
You seem like someone who can get through anything. When you won the show, it must have been such a huge relief. What was that like, winning your pro debut?
I did my pro debut as an experience. Like, I won my pro card and I was thinking that I was going to stop and like do a off season. So I could gain some maturity in my muscles and everything like that. But my coach and I thought, okay, let's try just a pro competition to see what the judges think about you on stage with the other pros. So I tried to continue my prep till the pro show, but I was like, okay, I'll try the top 10 or something like that, because I was aware that I was not competing no more with amateurs, and all the girls that were with me on stage already won overall and were pro, so they were good. Actually, they were really good. So I went to Italy with my feet on the ground, and it was for fun, just for fun. So it was such a really good surprise to stay on the center line and everything like that, and it's such a dream that I'm really happy to be now with it.
What was that experience like at that show, posing in a first call out?
First, we all were called to the first comparisons, and I thought, okay, it's the first comparisons, it's not the first call out, so stay calm, Beatriz, because it's not that big deal. But then when the head judge called the first call out and I was on the center, I think I wasn't thinking about that, because when I'm on stage, I'm like in heaven and I don't know what's happening or something like that. I became lost. But yeah, it was so good.
That's awesome. Congratulations. You're competing in all these shows and going to the gym. You must be meeting so many incredible people. Are you happy with the friendships that you've made so far?
Yeah, of course. During these almost 2 years, competing and in the gym, of course, I met so many people and so many friends, and it's amazing how we are all so different and we live so far from each other. And for having by having the same passion and working so much for what we want, which is really difficult, I think. It's something that really makes us feel that we are not alone, because sometimes due to this sport is a little bit egocentric and individual, and sometimes we feel a little bit alone in the middle of the normal people. So it's really good to have friends that share this passion with us.
That's beautiful. Your posing on stage is so good. How did you learn how to pose like that?
Thank you so much. Actually, I didn't learn with anyone. I already had lessons, but I was teaching another girls. But till my first competition, I didn't have any lessons. And my first competition, I did a prep of like 4 weeks. But first, all the routines and all the first posing of everyone is a little bit awful, and mine is included. So by watching videos during my cardio and the Arnold Classic, the Olympia, and the pro routines and everything like that, I started to learn and started to practice and practice. And every day I practice a little bit because I often do check-ins when I wake up in the morning or when I go to the bed. So it's just practicing, I think.
Yeah, check-ins, you're checking in with your coach?
Yeah, sometimes when he asks me for that, but otherwise I just take pictures for myself and to save them to see the progress of like from an off season to an on season. But when I'm on prep, I normally do like 2 in 2 days check-ins with my coach.
Who is your coach?
My coach is Cesar Gandra. I don't know if you know him. On Instagram, he is Cesar. He is Gandra Training 69.
That's great. What about in the last 2 years with your body? How's it changed?
Before I started working out, I wasn't neither thin, neither skinny, nor fat. I think I was a normal girl for the society because I always have been really active. And before I started working out, I was dancing, and I already worked with animals and everything like that. So every day of my life I was really active, referring to exercising. But before, of course, I didn't have any muscle or any contours in my shoulders and everything like that. So I gained some muscle happily. And I think that my body is still changing and will be changing forever. It's like a masterpiece for me.
You said you worked with animals?
Yeah, I did. Okay, in Portuguese we say equitação. I ride horses. Yeah, for like 5 years or something like that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What about coming up in February? You're headed to Japan. You're going to compete there. You're going to be staying in the country to explore that new adventure?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm so thankful for going to Japan to compete. It's such a dream for me still. I didn't buy anything, but it's a dream for me that I'm going to accomplish happily. Referring to the exploring part, I won't be doing that because as I'm 17, I'm in high school still. And sadly, I have to come back to school. So I will compete on Sunday, and on Monday, I think in the morning, I will come back to Portugal. But I will for sure visit the country again to compete or something like that and explore everything that I can.
Will there be time for sushi?
I think so because I will turn 18 on January and I will be prepping. So I think I won't have a party, or at least I won't eat anything because it's near to the date of the competition. So I think I will celebrate there, and yeah, with sushi, of course.
Right now you're in Portugal. I'm in the United States. Do you have any plans to compete next year in the USA?
Yeah, actually, I applied to the Arnold Sports Ohio, but the places are like, I think there are 20 or 25 places for the girls, and the girls that are going are perfect. So I totally understood that I'm not going. But yeah, I think I'm going to do New York Pro or something like that. And I wanted to do Vancouver Pro or Toronto Pro there. If I can, obviously I'll do more.
Have you ever been to New York before?
No, sadly no. Only in Canada.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's always people watching these videos and they might be struggling to work out or eat clean. Do you have any advice for them? Anyone struggling with that?
Always be consistent and always have a vision of what you want, because I know that sometimes it's difficult to stick to the plan on the gym and about the diet. I'm struggling with that because after Christmas I have a lot of cravings, and I really want to eat something or grab something, even if it's just a little bit. I think about that, but we have to be consistent, and we have to have an objective and an aim to try to accomplish that and be always consistent, because about bodybuilding and about gym and about diet, the things only result if you are consistent, and not only if you work for that on the weeks, and on the weekends you are a normal person. So my advice is just to have a vision and never do things that will make you not achieving that so early or not achieving that at all.
That's great. Are you guys doing anything for New Year's?
Yeah, of course. I will eat sushi or Japanese Chinese food with my family and friends, and then see some firework and everything, and then wake up and do my cardio because I will start my prep on day one.
That's perfect. What about last question for you? It's always fun to hear another language. Anything you want to say in your language to your family?
Something that I would like to tell them is obrigada, amo-vos, which is thank you, I love you, because my family has always been my biggest support, and they are always there for me when I'm bad, when I feel bad or when I feel really good, during my preps and outside of it. Also because sometimes they don't have vacations on other countries or in other countries. Due to traveling to watch me on stage, to see me on stage, and to hug me after that. So that's the biggest thing that I have to say to them.
You think you're going to go to college?
I think so. My life has changed so much during these 2 years. So I think that the future is not certain, and I don't want to say that I'm going to do something that I'm not sure about. But yeah, I think in the first plan, yeah, I will.
Last question for you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself competing because I will be 27 or 28. So hopefully I'll be competing. But if don't, because we all have to have a backup plan, I see myself working or promoting competitions like Kai Green is doing now, because he had just had his first competition, and I think I want to do that after I stopped competing. But in 10 years, yeah, I see myself traveling to Japan again, to compete again in Japan, and travel doing what I love.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know it's so valuable. I hope you enjoy your sushi, and I hope I get to talk to you again next year.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.